All right, welcome back, everyone. We're ready for another deep dive. And let me tell you, we've got a lot to cover today.
We do.
Everything from U.S. politics and natural disasters to tech trends. We'll even touch on a royal birthday.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think the sources we have today are going to paint a pretty interesting picture of what's going on in the world.
Definitely. I mean, at first glance, these events seem totally unrelated, right?
Yeah.
But when you look closer,
Right.
there are some surprising connections there. And those connections, I think, can tell us a lot about the bigger forces at play, the things that are really shaping our world right now.
Exactly. So let's start unpacking all of this, and I think the best place to begin is with U.S. politics.
Okay.
Specifically, this pretty surprising cabinet appointment from former President Trump.
Yeah, definitely a head scratcher.
Trump just appointed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the new Secretary of Health.
Big name.
Yeah. Now, for those who might not know, RFK Jr. is the son of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy. He's been pretty active in environmentalism, and,
Yeah.
well, he's known for his let's say, controversial views on vaccines.
Right. And that's putting it mildly, I think. Some of our sources are even suggesting that this appointment could be a strategic move by Trump to appeal to a certain segment of voters.
Yeah.
The ones who share RFK Jr.'s skepticism about vaccines. But thinking beyond the political maneuvering, this appointment could have a huge impact on U.S. health policy.
Absolutely.
Think about it. What happens to vaccine mandates if RFK Jr. is in charge?
Right.
What about public health campaigns? It makes you wonder,
So it does.
And all of this is happening while Trump is, well, solidifying his control, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's fresh off some big election wins, which means
Oh, yeah.
the impact of this appointment could be even bigger than we initially thought.
Really makes you think. Okay, so we've got this potentially massive shakeup in U.S. healthcare policy, and on the other side of the world, we have the Philippines getting hit, well, pretty hard by not one, but two typhoons.
Yeah, first it was Typhoon Ophel, which, just caused widespread damage across the country.
Devastated.
And now they're bracing for another one, Typhoon Pepito.
Back to back.
And this is where things start to get really interesting, because we know that natural disasters can often lead to political instability.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Resources get strained, people are displaced, and there's this general sense of, vulnerability, maybe?
Absolutely.
And so some analysts are predicting that these typhoons, coupled with the Philippines' reliance on U.S. aid, might actually create an opportunity for the U.S. to exert more influence in the region.
Interesting.
Especially given the recent U.S. election results we were just talking about.
So what you're saying is these typhoons could have much wider consequences that go beyond the immediate humanitarian crisis.
Exactly. You got to look at the bigger picture.
It makes you wonder if there are similar ripple effects happening in other parts of the world, too. Like, what about the tech industry?
Yeah.
It seems like there's been a lot of upheaval there lately.
There has. We're seeing mass layoffs at some pretty major tech companies. Google, SAP, Cisco, they've all been making headlines.
And a lot of people are losing their jobs.
Yeah, over 150,000 jobs just this quarter. And that's just in the tech sector. Some sources are saying that it's just companies restructuring or automating, but there's this underlying feeling that something bigger is going on.
Yeah.
One report even went so far as to suggest that these layoffs might be an early indicator of a global recession.
Whoa.
Which, if you connect the dots, could be linked to the political and economic uncertainty coming out of the U.S. right now.
That's a scary thought, especially for the thousands of people who are now facing unemployment.
It is. The human cost of these layoffs is enormous. People's lives are being turned upside down.
Makes you really think about the need for, adaptability and resilience,
Absolutely. One source even talked about the need for governments and organizations to, step up and create better reskilling and training programs.
To help people navigate these changes.
Exactly. Because, even in the midst of all this global chaos, individual actions and choices still matter.
It's a good reminder that we all have a part to play. Speaking of individual choices, let's maybe lighten the mood a bit.
Yeah, good idea.
King Charles III just celebrated his 76th birthday.
He did.
But from what I've read, the celebrations were pretty low-key this year.
Yeah, very subdued, which is interesting because some sources are saying that this was a deliberate choice on King Charles's part, like he's trying to modernize the monarchy, make it more relevant in today's world. And that approach, it's completely different from what some other monarchs around the world are doing. They're
Hmm.
really clinging to tradition, pomp, and circumstance, the whole nine yards.
So King Charles is like taking a different path.
It seems that way. Makes you wonder how this will affect public perception, especially among younger generations.
Wow. It's amazing how even a royal birthday can offer a glimpse into how the world is changing.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered a ton today. We talked about U.S. politics, natural disasters, tech layoffs, even touched on a royal birthday. It's been quite the deep dive.
It has.
But now I'm curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, what stands out to you? How do you see all of these events connecting?
Right.
What does it tell you about the world today and where we might be headed? Keep thinking about these things, exploring these
And
topics.
let us know what you think.
Exactly. We'd love to hear your take.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.